It's Monday, we are live, and welcome to the Live Lab. In the Live Lab, I interview people who are making a difference in this world. People who have socially experimented to find out what is working. They share some of their story to hopefully impact and inspire you so you can go out and make your difference. Well, we've got some more people coming in. Please leave in the comments where you're watching from. If you're watching on a replay, welcome. I'll get involved. We're going to get involved in some of the comments afterwards. At the end of each show, I share a tool or a tip, an app that can help you be more creative. But today on the show, we have a very special guest live from South Korea. Professor, educator, researcher, blogger, social media pedagogy consultant, I got that right, Addison Zhang. So I'm looking forward to inviting her on the Live Lab now. I'm going to invite her on, but please, ladies and gentlemen, leave in where you are from. We're going to get involved in the comments later on. Very shortly I'm excited, you can tell, is Addison Zhang. She's coming on now. I'm going to get involved in some of the comments. David, hello David, welcome to the show. David's at the show. Is coming in now. Debbie, welcome, and everybody else joining us.
Oh, hi!
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Des. It is truly my honor to be here with everyone.
And it's my honor to have you here. David is watching. Debbie's watching. Thank you very much for watching.
Hey, David. It's funny because I always do my Facebook Live on my computer, so I'm still trying to adjust to be on my cell phone.
Yes. Well, this Live Lab was started out of just, I said, you know what, I am just going to start it, right? I'm going to start it, and I'm going to keep going forward and forward and forward every week, you know? And the idea is that I stand here, so I'm standing up here, and I wanted to, this is the whole dream, the whole vision was to stand here and to be able to do it, and have the equipment around me, but the equipment's not here yet, so it's just to carry on going.
I love it. I really love your energy. Thank you.
Thank you. But it's an honor to have you on the show and a pleasure to have you here. I know it's very early where you are.
Yes, it's okay. I'm an early person, so no problem.
Okay. Well, your journey has been incredible, but tell us, how did you get started in social media? Because you studied communication for a number of years.
Yeah.
How did you get started in social media?
Yes, I have always been a traditional college professor. You know, after I got my degrees, I started teaching at my school in New Jersey in the United States. And I have always been a traditional professor, go to my classes and teach my classes. I talk a lot. And so the wake-up call for me or the trigger for me was that one day, I think it was 2.5 years ago, March 2015, I was at home grading my student's paper. Then I read in a student's paper that he had never heard of a major social media platform, and that was Pinterest. It was such a shocker to me. I was like, how can this be? I was talking about social media in all of my classes all the time. And then here I was, a student never heard of this. And then I realized that I didn't walk the talk. So what I did in my classes was that I talk a lot, you know, but I didn't bring any personal passion or personal stories or examples to my classes. And then since that day, I told myself, I'm going to change myself, how I approach social media, and use myself as an example to show my students the power of social media. So I just wanted to be a better teacher at the time. But little did I know that decision to be a better teacher really transformed my personal and professional career. I'm just so thankful. Yeah. So that's kind of my story, how I got started. So I have only been on social media for 2.5 years, and very short.
Really?
Yes. But really rewarding. And the results have been truly amazing. It just shows if you are consistent and if you have a strategy, and you can achieve ROI, you know, and it is really rewarding. Yeah.
Because consistency obviously is key. Consistency is key. Because I remember connecting with you on Snapchat.
Yes.
Yes. and you sharing a lot of your story there and what was going on for you in social media, and you was very open.
Yes, definitely. I think
was going on.
I try, even nowadays, I don't use Snapchat much. I'm trying just to be more focused. And I think regardless what platform we use, we need to be really authentic and not only show the good part, hey, I got this, I got that, but also show the struggles and be okay to make ourselves being vulnerable. And I really see that as a strength, because people approach me and say that they relate to me because of the struggles I share. And very interestingly,
Yes.
every time when I share something that I struggle personally, I got the best engagement on my social media. Isn't that interesting? And I remember a few weeks ago, I posted that I really suffer from self-doubt and imposter syndrome, and I asked my community to give me some advice. And oh my God, I got almost 80 or 90 comments on my Facebook post.
Wow.
That was just truly amazing, blow my mind away. I think people are eager to hear that, to have conversations about topics like that, because in social media, it's always about the highlights, the positive, you can be really depressed. Like, look at my life, sucks, right? Everyone else is doing so amazing, is doing this and that.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy it. So I love what you mentioned, being open and being authentic and transparent. Yeah.
And being somewhat of vulnerability.
Exactly.
Now we are talking about, hello, Chelsea. Chelsea.
Oh my God, Chelsea's here.
Chelsea. I remember the most people I've connected with, and if some been on the show, I've watched the journey and stories, and they have been vulnerable, and that is the point when they make the most connection. I do remember sharing a story on Snapchat, and I was reluctant because growing up as a man, you think you're proud. I'm not sharing any vulnerability stories on there, but I did share it a couple of times, and it's almost like everything changed but I was so reluctant to do it. But that is when people actually connect with you and reach out to you, and and it helps.
Absolutely. I think this it's not just about social media. Also, my teaching, like I use social media in my classes all the time, and I really want to use social media to humanize who I am as a college professor. Traditionally, I remember when I was a student, if I saw a professor at a grocery store, I was like, oh my God, you also shop? And it is just very different. But nowadays, I can use social media to share who I am, so students relate to me as a human being, not just as a college professor. And I think that is true for higher education or K-12 education, social media, or even in the corporate. Like, you want to relate to each other as human beings, as opposed to whatever mask that we wear on our face. But like social media really show the person behind the mask.
Yes, because I grew up, and if I saw a professor, he'd say, "Oh, professor," and you wouldn't never approach them or talk to them because they were a professor and you was someone else. You wasn't a professor, so you wouldn't ordinarily talk to them. If they came and talked to you, fine. But other than that, it was that wall. That they were a professor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I call this power distance. There's power distance between people, especially between like the higher and the lowers. But social media really kind of brings us closer. Yeah, breaks that power distance. Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's one word I want to ask you about while you're here before we go into your journey and a few other things. Is your pedagogy consultant? So that covers a wide thing. Could you explain a bit more about that?
Yes, and I'm actually working on a course called Social Media Pedagogy. So what I do is, because social media transformed my life, my teaching practice, and I really want to bring more value to other professors, educators. I want to share with them. So what that means is that I coach people, educators, how to apply social media into their classes as a pedagogical or as a teaching tool. Like, for example, how to use Twitter, class hashtag, and Twitter chat, all those things or moments into their classes to enhance student engagement, to humanize the professor, and to align the class teaching objectives with student learning outcomes and through the usage of social media.
Right, okay, so you've got a course coming out very shortly.
Yeah, I'm actually working on it. I have a few beta testers, have 20 beta testers. They are taking the course for free and giving me some feedback. And I'm super grateful for this group of people and trying to improve the course. Yeah, I'm halfway through. So if anyone of you wants to join, you can still join the course. Yes.
I don't mind being a beta tester.
Oh, Deirdre is here. Hi, Deirdre. It's Olaf and Lisa. All of my friends are here. Oh, they're so lovely.
Oh, great. And nice to have you, Deirdre and Lisa. Thank you for being here. Yes, so your journey has been, you say you've been on social media for 2 years. I've seen you for the last, I've lost track of time now. I think it's a year and a half, maybe. All right. Yeah. And I've been watching you, and you've been to various social media events. I've watched you. It's almost like I've watched you just grow on social media.
Oh, thank you.
Make certain decisions and just go for it, regardless. Just go for it. I've seen you, you started your show. You mentioned we're going to talk about your journey on Medium as a blogger. So tell us about that.
I think my life motto is just do it. Just get started. Don't wait for too long, And I started my Facebook show. I didn't really have a super complex strategy or plan. I just really love it, and I enjoy having conversation with people. And I just went started. And my journey on blog was that I really wanted to challenge myself because I was not a blogger. I think right now I'm 38 years old. Before this point in my life, I blogged 4 times in my entire life. I was like, wow. I really want to. And this year, I think I have been just out of my comfort zone and trying to challenge myself. Then I really wanted to challenge myself. So, okay, let me start with blogging. And I was being really consistent. And remember, I shared with you earlier, you really need to understand your why, why you want to be on social media.
Yes.
What is your end goal? So I figured that out. And then I just started to produce content aligned with my end destination. And I produce content regularly on a daily basis. Maybe not daily. When I started, I wanted to do it on a daily basis. But with my children, summer break, I just can't. But regularly. And then after, I think less than 2 months, I got a top writer status in social media on Medium. And I also grow my followers from very 200 or so to 1.2K, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
And lots of people discover me through my articles on blog. I also got podcast interviews because of the content I share. So content marketing, definitely. And so that's my blogging journey. Anyone of you thinking about blogging, just get started. Yeah.
So just do it, basically. Just get started. Because I've seen you recently featured on HubSpot. Is it HubSpot?
Yes, definitely. It was truly an honor. And I shared my journey as a social media professor and how I incorporated social media into my classes as a teaching tool. Yeah. And interesting, during the interview, one of the questions was based on one of my blog articles. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it just shows you the power of content marketing.
Definitely, it also shows the importance as educators walk the talk. Before in my classes, I talk about influencer marketing, I talk about content marketing, but now I have personal examples to tell my stories, of content marketing. It is just a lot more compelling and persuasive.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Because when I've watched you grow, I've been inspired by some of the things. Yourself and David, I say you're both.
Oh, David is amazing.
Yeah, you guys are visionaries. You can see further. It's like you can see further forward, and you just go in that direction.
Yeah, thank you. I also think another important point is building your community or personal learning network. Before I started on social media, I was inspired. I was watching lots of people, And I think they definitely influenced me a lot. And as I started, I also learned a lot from my personal community, my professional community, and learned from people like David, Lisa, from all of my friends. And I think that is the power of social media, is to bring people together, to engage in this open conversation, open dialogue. As David always says, collaborative learning. I really love that. And I think that's what I love the most about social media. And I don't think I can be where I am today without this really nice, supportive, resourceful community online at all.
Yes, I mean, I do owe a lot to. I mean, we wouldn't be talking if it wasn't for social media.
Exactly.
And connecting, because I remember connecting through David, through Erica Blair, I think.
Yeah.
And then for you through David as well. Oh yeah, it was through David. I connected through quite a few people.
Yes, definitely.
Especially in the social media educational space.
I feel like you are an educator almost.
Well, no, I see. The thing is, I'm drawn towards people like yourself because I'm always trying to learn something new. All right, so I'm actually drawn towards listening to the different perspectives and the different viewpoints and the way it's done elsewhere. I mean, learning new things like pedagogy. You know how long it took me to say that today? Anyway, that's another story. But yeah. So, I'm learning new things as I go along constantly, and I think it's fascinating from different people, different professions, and like yourself in education space. Whoever knew that I would be talking to a professor here about how social media and learning at the same time. I find it fascinating.
Yeah, definitely, and I really come to see the importance of engaging in lifelong education because everything's changing so fast. You just have to be constantly learning and educating yourself and deconstructing what you have learned and reconstruct whatever is new. You need to be able to be disrupted and reconstructed because everything's just changing so fast. And that's why I'm an advocate of this, so that other people in education, they can also change. I say that either you change or become extinct.
So what would you say to, let's say there's an educator watching here now and they're going about their traditional methods of teaching and not using social media they're not using social media as a tool. What would you say to them watching now?
And I think just get started, and you take baby steps. When I just started, I was not all over the place. I only choose something really small. I started with Twitter chat in my classes. So whatever social media platform you are most comfortable with, and just choose one and take baby steps, and continue to engage in lifelong learning, educating yourself, and slowly everything will come to you, will click to you, and you start to reach kind of a saturation point. Because I think when I just started, all the names, they were like, oh my God, this person I didn't know. I was writing down their names. But after a few months, and I feel like I kind of reached a saturation point, meaning that the people's names start to repeat. I was like, oh, okay, I know this person. Right now, I kind of know who is in the social media, like the influencers and the influencers in education who are also passionate about technology, social media. And it takes time, nothing happens overnight. It takes lots of time, yeah.
So basically, pick a platform, stick to it for a while, be consistent.
And patient.
And be patient with it. And don't get frustrated. I mean, there's plenty of help out there. Obviously, your course will help.
Yes. And also have your personal learning network. Have an online supportive community where you can ask questions. And, on Facebook now, maybe you can also start doing, and on your page, you can create a group linked to the page. So recently, I just started to create a separate community linked to my Facebook page of this Classroom Without Walls, my weekly show. And just I really value my community. I just want to engage in conversations with them. And I learn a lot from them. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Danica. Yes. So tell us about.
I love seeing all those
people. Tell us
people.
about your show.
Yes,
Tell us about your.
I have a weekly Facebook live show where I interview influencers and leading educators and professionals regarding topics related to social media slash technology and tech and higher education or education in general. So basically, the intersections between education and social media, and that's kind of my theme. And it is a weekly show on every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So all of you, and Des has been on my show quite a few times. Thank you so much for the support. Any one of you in the audience, definitely check it out. And this Wednesday, I have Deborah Erkling on my show, and she's an editor for Social Media Examiner. And I'm super honored. She is a really great writer and communication strategist and social media strategist. She's going to share with us effective goal setting for 2018 to rock your career and to rock your business. I'm super honored. Yeah.
Wow, I'll be there. I'll be. I've been watching your show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been to our show, it's a great show. I will leave a link in the description afterwards. You have to go and check it out if you are a lifelong learner. That is. Hello, Amber. How are you? Yeah. So, where do you see the future of teaching and now, or where do you see the future of education?
Yes, I really see more people start to embrace this open sharing, open learning, like open classroom. Like I love what the founder of Khan Academy. I don't know if you guys know Khan Academy. It's kind of like an online learning platform or like where they have lots of videos for free for people to watch. Like they cover like arts, humanities, math, engineering, a wide range of topics, like open online courses, and people take those courses. And I love what the founder of Khan Academy said, which is we need to be prepared to enter this global one world classroom. That's really how I see it. Social media allows sharing, and the best part is co-creating content. I see myself not just as a teacher, but more as a facilitator. We are in this information age. Students don't need me to tell them A, B, C, and D, right? So I really see myself as a facilitator where they can find lots of information, but maybe I help them to translate and to apply the information they found online into to daily life to help them apply the knowledge. So I really see myself playing that role, and I see more educators be prepared and to enter this open sharing and global one world classroom. And think about it, if students in my classroom can collaborate with students from UK and different countries, and they can share notes, use whatever social media tools, live streaming tools to collaborate with each other, how amazing is that? It's like put learning to a different level and also help students build their personal brand beyond the classroom level. And that's really my hope. But I think we still have a long way to go, because recently, I think a few days ago, and someone, we have been talking about this article, shared a New York Times article. And this professor, she's basically banning technology or digital devices in her classes, like no computer whatsoever. And her argument is that using laptops in the classroom actually distracts the students a lot and reduces learning outcomes. It is very interesting. So there's definitely a debate, like I myself definitely advocate for this, and there are other school of thoughts. Yeah.
Right. So you would say, as Danica says, so like college courses offer what they want.
Oh yeah, definitely, Danica. Absolutely. I think one of the important skills for our students to learn is the digital skills, digital literacy. It is so, so, so important. And I see that if educators in college or in high school or middle school, if we don't prepare our students, like who else is going to coach them? I don't know. And one biggest misperception is that people think, oh, the young generation, they are the millennials, they are the digital natives, they know everything about social media. That is not true at all. They use social media as entertainment, as toys. They follow news and celebrities and chat with their friends. But using social media for career development, professional learning, lifelong learning, or strategic communication, it is a totally different story. They need to be taught. And I think the only place to be taught is in school. So I think that professor needs to engage in some lifelong learning and to connect with some other people who are already on this journey and to take some baby steps. Otherwise, we are doing a disservice to our students. They can't find jobs after they graduate. Because right now, for example, many of the projects I do, I'm working with people I have never connected in person before. You just need to get used to it. Online collaboration and using Evernote and all those different platforms to collaborate, to learn, to work on projects. You just need to get used to it.
Because recently you had someone on your show. Was it the young entrepreneur who?
Jeremy Miller. Yes. He's
Jeremy Miller.
He's really amazing. He's a high school graduate and 18 years old, and he's doing truly amazing. And he has his own company, which is a social media, Facebook ad, and just in that realm. Yeah.
Because he was sharing also about people of his age don't understand. They use social media as what you just said for just engaging with or just checking their celebrities and just engaging that way, but not how to actually use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even for us, I think it is a learning journey, right? I think for me, it is a learning journey. I started using Facebook to share dogs, cats, my baby pictures, but now I have become a lot more strategic and professional. I use Twitter to build my network and LinkedIn, all those platforms. Yeah, I think if it is a journey for us, a learning curve, it must be for our students, and then this goes back to what we discussed earlier, walk the talk. Teachers, unless we are doing this, we don't see how valuable it is, and we can't be a good teacher.
That's right. So it's like we'd be a practitioner of the platform that you're on, and then you're able to share. And I say yourself, David, I remember Chelsea said the same thing, as being a practitioner.
Oh, absolutely.
Use it.
Absolutely. And I actually, it was hard for me to call myself a practitioner or a consultant, because I had always been thinking, as educator, my only job is to teach. I have to always be in the classroom. But now I really see this differently. I think educators have to be practitioners, and they really have to go hand in hand, educators and practitioners, and they really help inform the other role that we are playing.
Yeah. Because earlier on you mentioned something which I think is very important. When you go out there into the world and you put yourself out there, it's the self-doubt, imposter syndrome that people get. I mean, it's there, but sometimes you're tackling something that has not been dealt with yet, and you might be a pioneer in that field, and you still have to keep going, week after week, month after month.
Yeah,
going in that direction when no one's been there before.
Definitely. Right now, I'm developing this course, and I don't think there are lots of educators like myself, trying to develop an online course for commercial purposes, and it is definitely a bumpy road, very challenging. I think many of the blocks come from within. I questioned myself. I was like, is this even okay to do? And I feel like I'm not the best person in my field to do this. I have lots of self-talks like that. And but I just need to overcome that, continue to push myself. And the community really support me a lot, which is really amazing. Yeah, and also Gary Vee talks about this. We document our journey. That's part of the reason I want to share my struggles, because it's my way to document my journey. And sometimes when I felt really today, I just felt hopeless. I didn't do anything. I will record a video with me crying, I felt like crap. So I saved those videos, regardless how far I go in the future, I think I should never forget those moments, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's almost like what I've heard from Gary Vee recently. It's like you don't need anybody's permission
Oh,
to do it. Whereas I think growing up, you always had to have someone's permission to go ahead and do this next thing. And is
absolutely.
it okay? Yeah,
Absolutely, because
but
for me it's even more extreme because I have always been in the education system, which is really structured, seniority, all those things. So I think I spent my entire life waiting for permissions from my parents, from my leaders, from my school, from the
yeah,
system to do anything. And this is the first time I'm actually doing something by giving myself the permission. It felt really scary and uncomfortable, but yes, I saw that video. It is like good. You should definitely check it out, everyone. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I've checked it out, and it keeps going over in my head. You don't need any permission to do what you need to do. However, I spent a long time, a lot of years, feeling the same as you, where you like, okay, you can't do that because no one's done it yet, or
Mm-hmm.
you can't do that. There's no label for it. You can't do that either because you haven't got permission. But now in the world we live in, at least you can go and try, and you can keep going and see where it takes you on your journey to wherever you need to get to.
Yes, definitely. And recently, I listened to one episode of a podcast, and this I think the host mentioned something really like instilled in my mind, which is like for everything that you do in your life, and when you look at back the things that you did in your life, if you don't feel any regret, it means that you waited too long.
All right. Yes, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it is such a great perspective, like it also shows just get started. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start going Facebook Live or start blogging because there's no perfect moment. The longer you wait, the harder it is to get started.
So I would wholeheartedly say I agree with that because you just have to just start with whatever you've got and just go. And not wait let me wait till next month till I get all of that equipment and wait till I get this and that. It's like, no, you can just go with what you've got
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly. And another thing
Yeah.
is that I think really one mistake I made is like just I was really not clear about my message. My message was not very cohesive. And I do spend lots of time, like I think reading books and working with others really helped me see my why, understand what is my
Right.
end goal. Where do I want to see myself as a go-to person? Like what is my field? And I think understanding that really helps me to be more strategic with
Yeah.
my content
Right.
creation. And that was the biggest mistake. I hope people listening or watching this don't make the same mistake. I was like really all over the place, and like this year I have become a lot more strategic, and I can feel the difference. The traction and the engagement and the people I connected with are the people I wanted to connect with, whereas before it's different. But if you are just here,
It was.
yeah, but I think if you are just on social media for fun, it is totally okay. And but for me,
Yeah.
I think I want to use it as, especially now I have my kind of business, and I need to be a little bit more strategic with how I spend my time, and especially with my content creation. That's why my
So it's
blogging, yeah, like my blogging and my Facebook live show, they all share the same purpose, the same theme, the intersections between social media and higher education. That's basically what I do, even on Instagram. And if you saw my earlier pictures on Instagram, it was kind of random, but now everything is related to what I do as a social media pedagogy consultant or as a social media professor. It is aligned. I think that is like my message is very cohesive. Yeah.
and it probably helps you to be. Does it help you to be clearer?
Oh,
As in, you're not so fuzzy about. Yeah.
yes, definitely also
What's going on? Yeah.
reduces lots of pressure because I used to feel I need to be all over the place. Oh, this is something new. I need to do it. Oh, that is something new. I need to do it. And that made me feel so pressured and so scattered. And to the point that I felt like I have no energy left to produce any original ideas. And but now I feel like I'm not saying that you shouldn't try the new things, but now I'm just becoming more strategic and maybe wait for some time and to pick up something new. Yeah.
Right. So you've got your why now, which has helped you push a lot further forward than you was, let's say, 8 months ago.
Definitely,
Is that right?
definitely. Yes. That is definitely the case. Yeah.
So you'd encourage people just to get started and to have a why.
Yeah, I think
basically a why.
Yeah, you need to get started first, and as you start doing those things, I think you may start to become clear about like your why, and do you want to pursue this as a business? Do you have a business like goal or agenda behind your social media presence, and what value you are going to bring to your audience? Are you going to build a community, and how are you going to help your community? What are their struggles? Those questions may not come to you as you just started, but just get started, and then later you can start to ask yourself those questions and be more strategic. Or maybe you just want to be on social media to have fun, to engage with people. I think that is also totally fun. You know, it is a great place to connect with people, to build friendship, to support others. It is totally fun. And then this goes back to, again, what we shared earlier. You just need to understand yourself, you know, where do you want to go in life, and how social media and what role social media is going to play in your life. Yeah. For fun or for business.
Yeah. Because I see a lot of people obviously on here. I've seen a big difference in some people's use of social media in the last year. I think I've seen the last year, but especially when I'm watching yourself, a few others that have been on the show, I've seen it's been incredible to watch.
Thank you.
Watch yourselves and you know, and see the journey that you're going on, and it's like so refreshing because people like yourself are just doing it, you know, rather than
definitely
thinking too much about it.
Yeah, like I saw Chelsea on in the audience earlier, and she's really focused. You know, her channel is Snapchat. She's really focused. You say I don't see her on Twitter that much, and other like maybe Facebook, she's a lot, but definitely not on Twitter a lot. But I think that's totally fine. You just need to find your niche, find your focus, and really be focused. That's kind of my understanding.
Yeah, because it helps a lot to be focused on one, because there is that overwhelm, isn't there? There is the overwhelm if you decide to take on too many. I want to learn all of these platforms because everyone tells me I have to be on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and you know, Snapchat, and all the rest of it. And I think a lot of, I suppose, educators and businesses especially will be overwhelmed with all of this, because just to use one, it takes some time to understand the language of the platform.
Absolutely. And the context of the platform, the language, as you mentioned, definitely takes lots of time, especially if you want to produce good content. You know, I'm sure you know, like storytelling on Snapchat takes lots of time, you know, and like watching other people's stories and being in the community and to produce quality stories, they take lots of time and creative thinking and effort. Absolutely, yeah. And I think if you like, for me, I have a full-time job, and then social media, I have 2 young children. I think you just add so much pressure to yourself, you know. And now I start to give myself permission to be focused on just one or a few platforms and be strategic about them.
That's great. That's great. Great advice for anybody watching. And I am conscious of time and you being here at this time in the morning. And I am so honored that you took the time to come on to this show, because it's fantastic to have you and your perspective and everything on this show. I am so honored, so honored.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Des. And thank you so much to everyone in the audience who joined this. I truly appreciate it. This is why we love social media so much, you know, this global community. Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Oh, my name, personal branding. Addison Zhang, AIADDYSONZHANG, everywhere. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also on Medium. So I use the same name. I will also type my username in the comment section after we finish the show.
Excellent, excellent. I'm going to share a tool, an app that you can use for content creation. If it's video, the app is called Videorama. And then if you've got there, the app is called Videorama. It's an excellent tool if you want to do any video content creation to have in the app toolbox, because it helps you to at least chop the videos down. It helps you to create the videos, add text, etc., etc. It's another very good one to have because it helps you if you're on Instagram or Snapchat, places like that. Helps you to cut down to the second, to the 100th of a second, so you can chop your stories down into 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Helps you to add that text and various other effects. I'm going to add that into the description below. And I'd like to say once again, hi. It is such an honor to have you here. I tell you, I am honored, and I thank you for being here. Honestly, thank you for being here, and everybody else that's been watching now and on the replay, thank you for being here. And I'm going to get involved, and we're going to get involved in the comments below. I understand it's very early there. I know. So thank you very much, everybody. We're going to end it there, and I'm going to leave in the comments below some more details about the app and get involved in the comments. All right. Once again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you online.
Bye.